Welcome to Box Recaps.
Today's video, we will be going through the 2021 movie Palmer. It's time to recall. Let's get started. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The movie starts and we see a man named Palmer sitting on a bus. The next thing we see, he is in his grandmother's house and she is really happy to see him. The grandmother then goes on to tell Palmer to go to his room and relax. While in the room, he looks out the window and sees a woman named Shelley sitting outside talking to her kid. There is an SUV nearby and a man named Jerry comes out of it. He asks Shelley if she has stolen money from his wallet and she admits stealing the money. Palmer then has dinner with his grandmother and she tells him that Shelley is a careless mother because she is on drugs. The scene changes to the next day where we see Palmer walking around the city as he tries to find some work for him. We then learn that he has just come out of jail and that he is currently on parole, so no one is interested in giving him a job. That night he goes to a bar where he sees Shelley. They get to talk and the next thing we see, he is coming out of her RV the very next morning, which implies that they might have gotten intimate the previous night. When Palmer is coming out of her SUV, Shelley's son named Sam and Palmer's grandmother see him but say nothing. Palmer, Sam, and the grandma then make their way to church where Palmer runs into one of his old friends as well. Later that night, when Palmer is about to go out, his grandma gives him some money to get the necessary everyday stuff. When he is about to leave, he sees Shelley leaving in a truck with Jerry. Palmer then makes his way to the grocery store where he sees a note on the counter, learning that they have a vacancy. Palmer asks the girl on the counter about the job, but this is when a man shows up claiming to be the manager of the store, and he takes down that note, telling Palmer that this job has been taken by someone else. Palmer makes his way back home. He notices that Shelley's kid named Sam is always doing girly stuff as he sees him playing with a doll. Palmer tells the boys that boys do not play with dolls, but Sam does not pay any attention to that, and later on, when they are having dinner, the grandma goes on to ask him if he got a job, but he tells her no. Palmer sees another job posting the next day and makes his way to a school where they need a janitor. The principal there does not want to hire him when he learns that Palmer is on parole, but when Palmer goes on to mention his grandma's name, the principal allows him one opportunity to take this job. Palmer tells his grandmother that he has gotten a job and she is really happy for him. The next day, he goes to a classroom to clean an AC, but when he enters the classroom, he sees Sam in there. Both of them are weirded out. Palmer goes on to notice that Sam has been living at their place for many days and his mother has not gotten back. He asks his grandma about it and the woman tells him that Shelley often does this. One day when Palmer gets back home from work, Sam goes on to tell him that grandma has not been moving and she has been lying in her room for a long time. Palmer gets worried and when he goes to check on her, he is heartbroken to learn that she is already dead. When her funeral is done, Sam is still living with Palmer and he does not like it. Palmer takes the boy to the police station and goes on to tell the men there that Sam's mother left him at their place many days ago and she has not got back. Palmer leaves him at the police station but feels guilty later on and then takes Sam back home and both of them now start living together. One day Palmer sees one of Sam's teachers named Miss Maggie and asks her when will Shelley come back. Miss Maggie goes on to tell him that she does not know that, but she does know that Shelley often does this. Maggie then gives Palmer her own number and tells him to call her if he needs any help. One day when Palmer and Sam are hanging out, Palmer scolds Sam for not showering, telling him that he stinks. He then makes the boy take a bath, and that night, Sam misses his mother and asks Palmer when she will get back, but Palmer says he does not know where his mother is. Palmer and Sam have now started getting closer because they spend a lot of time together. Sam studies at the same school where Palmer works. That evening, he takes the boy to a football game and they have a lot of fun. Later on, Palmer goes to the bar and drinks with his boys. The next day, he makes a plan with Miss Maggie and with her, he takes Sam out and they have a lot of fun together. Palmer tries to make Sam do masculine stuff so that he stops doing the girl things that he likes. Later, Palmer and Miss Maggie get to talk and she tells Palmer that she was married but she did not get along with her husband, so they are divorced now. Palmer is on his way to take Sam to the school the next day when the principal sees them together. He does not like the bond and asks Sam about Palmer. Sam says that he and Palmer are really close and that he has no problem with the man. Palmer then goes to the police station and later that day, when they are having dinner, the boy asks him why he goes to the police station. Palmer tells Sam that he is not a good man and that he robbed some people, so he is on parole, which is why he has to let the police know every day that he is still in the city. Sam tells him that his mother also stole the money, but she does not go to the police station to sign. So Palmer tells the boy that some people get caught and some don't. Sam tells him that he too once stole money from his classmate and even from grandma. He says that he cannot return the money to grandma because she is dead, but he can return the money to the other classmate, and Palmer agrees. Palmer then makes his way to the school early the next day, and Sam also gets to the classroom early so that he could return the money he stole from one of the students. Days go by, and just like that, Sam's birthday approaches. Palmer, along with Miss Maggie, goes on to surprise him with gifts and also presents a guitar to him. Sam then starts playing the guitar outside while Palmer and Miss Maggie hang out. Miss Maggie notices that Palmer has many letters that he has not opened. She tells him to open the letters because there could be coupons in there. He is reluctant at first, but agrees eventually. One of the letters says that he is supposed to call a lawyer. He calls the lawyer right away, and the lawyer goes on to tell Palmer that his grandma has a wish and that it was after her death, her property should be stolen and all the money should be given to the church. The lawyer says that her grandma also put it in her wish that Palmer too should be given $5,000. Palmer is then told that he only has 30 days to leave the house, and that worries him big time. The next day, when he is at school, he sees through the glass window that some kids are bullying Sam, and one of them goes on to tackle Sam to the ground. Palmer picks the boy up and scolds off the bullies. That night, Palmer takes Sam for Halloween shopping, and Sam is hell-bent on getting a princess's dress, while Palmer wants him to get a prince's dress. Palmer tells him that the other boys are going to make fun of him for dressing like a princess, but Sam does not listen to him and buys the female dress for Halloween. They then run into a bad woman who tells Palmer that he is a criminal, so he cannot take custody of this boy. She tells him that he is going to rant him over to the child protection. The next day, it is Halloween, and Sam dresses like a princess and makes his way to the school. The three bullies from earlier again go on to make fun of him, but he is saved by Miss Maggie, who herself is dressed like a man and tells the boys that it is Halloween, so Sam is allowed to dress the way he likes. Later that night, Palmer and Miss Maggie have dinner together, and she asks him how he ended up in jail. He tells Miss Maggie that he got injured during a football match at the school when he used to be a good football player. He, however, had to leave the sport and left the school too. After that, he started doing menial jobs, but that did not really satisfy him, so after losing his scholarship and dropping out of college, he started staying home and started taking pills. One night, he decided to rob the safe of a rich family in town with the help of his friends. The house was supposed to be empty, but the owner came home, and Palmer nearly beat him to death with a baseball bat. Maggie reassures Palmer that although that's who he was, he has changed and is a good man now, pointing to all the good he has done in Sam's life. The next day, Sam goes to a friend named Emily's house to play, while Palmer is seen sitting in front of a computer as he tries to conduct some research on how he can become a legal guardian of Sam. Later, when Palmer goes to Emily's house to take Sam, he sees that Sam is in a room and he is crying loudly. He asks Emily's mother about it, but she tells him that she herself was out, so she does not know what must have happened in her absence. Palmer asks Sam why he is crying, and the boy shows his face. The boy starts crying again, and as he shows his face, we see makeup garishly smeared on his face. Palmer assumes that one of Sam's classmates did it. Palmer tells Sam that he should not be scared of those boys because the more he gets scared, the more they are going to bully him. Sam, however, goes on to tell him that it was Palmer's friend Daryl who did it. Palmer loses his mind over this. He decides that he is going to teach this guy a lesson. Maggie does not want Palmer to get in any sort of legal trouble again, so she tries her best to stop him, but he does not listen and leaves without saying anything. Enraged, Palmer finds Daryl at a bar where they often have drinks. Palmer walks up to Daryl and starts beating the crap out of him. After having beaten him up very badly, he goes on to give a peace of mind to Emily's mother, telling her that she should have taken care of the kids because they were at her house. When he makes his way back home, Miss Maggie is still there as she is watching Sam. She tells Palmer that he should not have beaten up Daryl like that, adding that there are better ways to solve these problems. Palmer, however, doesn't say anything. The next day, he is sitting with Sam when he tries to cheer him up and tells him that it is not his fault what happened to him, adding that it is also not his fault that he likes girl things because these things just come naturally. As they have a good time together sitting at the dinner table, Sam's mother Shelley finally shows up. Palmer gets worried seeing her because that means Sam is going away from him. She tells him that she is there to take back her son, and Sam goes to his mother. However, just as he is about to leave, he keeps stopping and looking at Palmer, making it clear that he does not want to go with her. But Palmer tells Sam that Shelley is his mother, so he should be with her, and they leave. Palmer goes to work the next day but does not feel like doing anything because he keeps missing Sam. Miss Maggie comes to Palmer and asks him if Sam is alright because he has not come to the school. Palmer goes on to tell her that he is now with his mother. That night, Palmer goes to a bar, but he does not even feel like drinking anymore because he cannot stop thinking about the boy. The next day, he finds Sam outside his house. The boy is sad and tells him that he is now going to be living with Jerry and his mother. He also reveals that he is going to have a new school now. The next day, Palmer goes to see Shelley and asks her about Sam, but she tells him that the boy has been taken by Child Protective Services. Palmer then goes to the station and attempts to receive guardianship, but is denied due to his parole status and the uncertainty of his living situation. Despite Palmer's pleas, the judge orders the return of Sam to Shelley's custody. Palmer asks Shelley to appoint him as Sam's legal guardian, but she scoffs at his request even after he offers to pay her. Later, Palmer witnesses Jerry physically abusing both Shelley and Sam. Palmer intervenes and sees that both Shelley and Jerry are using drugs in front of Sam. He attacks Jerry and flees with Sam. Shelley calls the police and Palmer is accused of kidnapping Sam. After talking with Maggie on the phone, he brings Sam back to Shelley and is arrested at the scene. As Palmer is driven away, Sam tries to fight off the police officers and chases after the police car, crying that he wants to be with Palmer instead of his mother. Seeing Sam's love for Palmer, Shelley refuses to press charges and covers for Palmer's by saying that he was just taking Sam to get food and she forgot. Shelley meets with Sam and, through tears, asks him if he would be okay if he went to live with Palmer. Shelley eventually chooses to give Palmer custody of Sam. Palmer and Sam prepare for the sale of Grandma's house as they move in with Maggie. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.